to look at it because a lot of times there are people who are so busy trying to live up to society's standards, and because you are just saying fuck society and living freely within themselves, they may be arguing with their own inner demons. And so when I'm upset with you, the best thing I can do is come against what I don't like about me. A lot of times, if you notice, people who are secure with who they are, they're never the ones that start the fight. They're never the ones that start the arguments. Why? Because they don't give a fuck. They really don't give a fuck about what you think. It's mostly the people that do the attacking and spin out like that are people who are warm within themselves, and you just happen to step in the limelight of their shadow today. And so now the shadow boxing that they would have been doing with themselves are now taking it out on you.
Girl, you did your big one. You did your big one.
I'm just saying that's what I've noticed. That's why a lot of this mess that happens on this app, I'm like, oh, you just do not like you, huh?
So Delightful, why do you feel like a lot of times, including myself, when we have these situations, we don't know how to de-escalate them? I think that sometimes things end up going so far. Is it because people be saying stuff and we get hyped because the live views keep going up? So you feel like I gotta look like I got over, like you didn't get over on me?
I think that plays a part in it. I will say this, and I know that when I say this, there's gonna be some people in this comments like, shut the fuck up, get down. But let's be real. If these were conversations that were happening on FaceTime that had no comments, that had no type of igniters, is what I like to call them, because y'all call them comment cousins. I call it igniters. There are some people who are so bored within their lives that they come and they watch these lives, right? So when shit sparks, they fan the flame. Right. So honestly, I think a lot of this shit that winds up happening, if y'all notice, if the people are talking and comments are off, the shit will down. But if the comments are on, you got all these people. There's 3.5 motherfuckers in here. You not finna show me out. And then I read a comment where motherfuckers say, oh, well, you remember when they said this? Like, it really comes down to the fact that pride and flame fanners are keeping the shit going.
So these people that are involved cannot even try to reconcile because now it's done gone so far that you kind of embarrassed to try to have that conversation.
It is because, okay, think about it when you're in third grade. Remember when you had that bully that said some shit to you? You walked away, but it wasn't until everybody clapped was like, oh, now you feel the need. Like, it's something about that, oh, that's like, oh, no, motherfucker. Human nature said, you not finna, like, embarrass me. And now all of a sudden you feel the need to reply. So a lot of time it's the like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the instigation within the comments sometimes. And there are some people who, this is what they get on TikTok to do. They get on here literally just to keep the shit going.
So Buki said everybody who attacks sexuality is not homophobic. Some people like to go for the jugular. It's not right though. So
I didn't say everybody. I do and that's what I said. I don't think it's everybody, but I do believe that there are some people who do that just because of that. It, like I said, it plays into insecurity. It plays into, I feel like this might be the thing that hurts you. It's like you said, most people buy into stereotype. So some people are gonna come at you and be like, oh, that's why you have HIV. Because in their ignorant mind, they think that if a person is of the community, then that's something that can hurt them. Not knowing that, hey, baby, this is no longer 1985. We done did a lot of research. I'm gonna need to catch up.
Yeah. And I will say, for me personally, I don't think everybody that attacks sexuality is homophobic. But what I will say is that I think that's a late read, right? Like, if that's all you can say is, oh, you're this, that's not, I really respect people that can really be creative and that really can roast, you know. Now, when we into it, I may not respect them as much. But I think that there's an art to that in a way, you know. And so I feel like if you just say that, that's kind of lame. You know, that's kind of like saying, oh, that's why you wear glasses. Okay, right?
I do, Peace. Why you had to talk about my purple glasses that's falling apart? Don't read me.
They do that. Oh, you're sad. Like, okay, like.
But you know what? I don't know if y'all remember, but it just, like I said, it only fueled, right? The only way that it keeps going, right, is because I've had people do that. People love to talk about how I ain't got no teeth. No shit, Sherlock. I was there when they fell the fuck out. Like
Mhm.
people love talking about how short and black and I ain't got no hair. No shit, bitch. I'm the one that owned the clippers. I cut it. Like, but if I was someone who technically was insecure about those particular things, then yes, that could be a trigger. So
Mm.
it really just kind of depends on where the person in which you're going at it is for themselves and people going by what they deem is normal in society. So
Mhm.
society says that talking about somebody's weight is like the best way to get them. But if that
Really?
person has already protected themselves and they don't really have an insecurity in that area, you shot a blank. But you don't know it's a blank until you throw it.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like situations like that, that's really where it comes from. It just comes from people kind of testing the limits, testing the boundaries, and as far as how far it goes, it really is just dependent upon the person in which they throw it at.
Hmm.
And sometimes that rhetoric just simply means that that person isn't even happy with themselves.
Mm.
Agreed. Agreed 100%.
You're just not happy with what you have going on. And sometimes you have to take all of them lemons in your life and cut them one by one and squeeze them half by half because it takes time to squeeze a lemon and get all the juice out of it and make your own lemonade. Because if my mere presence bothers you, then that means that it is something within you that you need to take a look at and figure out how you can overcome that. For example, um,
Hmm.
sometimes our presence intimidates people.
Hmm.
And I never understood why that my presence would intimidate you, but maybe it's the confidence that I have that you don't have. But if you tap in long enough, I could teach you how to build your confidence up. Cause
Hmm.
everybody's confidence ain't always been on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always happy with a fupa. Shit, I had to when my body changed after I had them kids, baby. I had to learn to love me all over again, the new me.
So, can I tell the truth about something?
Yes.
So, I know we're talking about like why we talk about people and say certain things about people. And I think that for me, sometimes I will be mean or I will say things about a person because maybe that person has hurt my feelings. And instead of me being an adult and expressing like this hurt my feelings, I'm just gonna be mean, So I will say something mean or I will try to, troll you in a joking way or whatever. And sometimes that's because you hurt my feelings. Like you did something that really hurt my feelings. So it's not that I'm jealous of you or that like, oh, you got the car that I wish I could have. But it's just simply because like, yeah, you hurt my feelings, so I want you to feel like you made me feel.
That's real. Like that's 100% real. I think that it comes down like if we were to take the two reasons that we just said and put it into a chart, I think that would be like 1/3 of the issue. Like each one would play like a 33% in it because there are other factors that play in. But I think it's not even sometimes that you're not adult enough. It may just be the when it happened, right? Because if you did it in the midst of us being in a conversation around everybody, I may not necessarily feel safe to open up to you at that moment. But I do say that for me personally, when it comes to that whole you hurt my feelings, I'm not gonna say my feelings don't get hurt, but what I've noticed is that the only people who can honestly hurt my feelings are people that I give a fuck about. So
Mhm.
honestly, if I give a fuck about you and you hurt my feelings, it's because then yeah we may fall in that place, but I think that a lot of that does come for like for me personally. I know that one of the reasons why I have that type of mentality, it actually comes from a toxic growing up. I grew up in foster care, right? So in foster care and in group homes you learn how to like shield yourself off, and so it has its positive, right? The positive would be that hey, not everybody can really get to me, but the negative is that when you do get to me, oh baby, I'm coming guns a blazing. Which is why, like, if y'all notice, I try to keep myself out of certain areas. Not because I'm afraid of people or nothing. It's because I've done the work and I know that the smallest thing could fuck some shit up and I don't have time. But you have to get to a point as a person to where feel comfortable enough to have that conversation with somebody. Oh, they really want to know your thoughts, Peach.
They really just got blocked. I don't watch this shit. I don't watch them shows and them people be fighting and doing all the beating each other up. That ain't entertaining to me.
You mean like Bad Girls Club? I can't stand
Yeah,
shit
but
like
now
that.
they have
Okay,
like,
don't judge me. I like that show. I do
well,
like
they
that
have
show.
the baddies, and then they have like the gay boys that be. I mean, they be knocking each other out, and I'm like, I can't look at all this.
Wait, that's
you know
on
what?
TV?
Yeah,
So
well,
like,
it's an
it's on
app.
like those streaming shows like Zeus and
Yeah,
all
it's
this
an
kind of
app. It's
stuff.
on Zeus. Hey, Bullock.
Hey, Blue,
Hey, bitch.
how are you?
Come on, bang, yang, yang. No, I think that hey lady essence, I'm sorry, boo.
Hey,
I think
baby.
a part of what you were saying is we gotta understand that a lot of people don't know how to communicate effectively. And so in us knowing that people who look like you and me who we tend to have relationship with don't know how to communicate effectively, we don't know how to have safe spaces either. And those spaces that aren't safe don't promote us being vulnerable to them. To acknowledge that your feelings are hurt is a vulnerable space to people who have always known themselves to be strong or have that persona of being strong all the time, right? And so it's just a vulnerability thing. Like if you don't feel safe, you're not gonna open up. If me and you friends and you hurt my feelings and I don't make you feel like you can come talk to me in a space where we can have equitable dialogue, have a good conversation, then you're not going to. You're gonna be childish. You're gonna do some fuck shit. You're gonna ignore my calls. You're gonna say some sly shit, some shady shit. That's one of the reasons why I don't be on this side of TikTok for real like that. Is because people don't know how to communicate. Like they don't want to. It's not even that they don't know how. It's one thing not to know how. It's another thing to choose not to be better.
And I think that's hard because for me, my feelings are very genuine. So sometimes I feel like when I see certain things happen on this side, it be feeling like the storyline are as performative. Like now I done dragged you to hell for weeks. You done got docs. I done did all of this. Now let's do the live. We come together and say, oh, I'm sorry. I love you. I miss you. It just be feeling like that's not real.
Can we be honest though?
What?
Are there true relationships on this side of TikTok or is it mostly entertainment?
I think you do meet people that you truly care about.
I think you meet people and you could care about them, but if everybody comes on the app as if they're an actor and they're waiting for their time to shine, is that true relationship building? Are we being
think it's a
honest with
mix.
ourselves in it? Because
I think it's a mixture.
we are characters. Correct.
When you go into a lot of spaces, they'll say, well, you know, these characters come from this space, and then they're a character in this space, or they're a character in that space. We hear that a lot.
People say they turn it on and turn it off. People acknowledge. I heard you acknowledge it. I'm going to be real with you. You think I don't be listening. But I be round when y'all don't think I be round sometimes. But it just be too much for me. And I'm just in a different space in my life. But I heard you the other day and you said, my time over here is done. My role is done or something like that. Like I'm the role, like the leading acting role goes to somebody else now or something like that is what you, but that is the thought process. Everybody tries to make relationships over here, which is why friendships don't necessarily last and why they aren't truly true or real, because we aren't truly connecting. We're just in the same spaces. Like we just communing. Like we
Going to school with somebody, and then once y'all don't go to school,
once
or work
we not
together.
at school no more, like it's over with, right?
We just shooting the shit at these time slots on this app.
Correct.
We got this time slot. That's really what we're doing. But how often do we really connect on the back end and really get to know each other?
But can you even connect on the back end on this side if you are coming on the internet being entertainment? Because the back end tends to become the front end when it's entertainment.
Right. And then
That's very true.
that's
That's the slippery slope right there, Bullet.
That's right.
So then,
Damn.
Here's what I think about that,
so
right?
now we,
I think that there's a possibility, but the problem is, like you said, when you have someone who may know how, but then someone who doesn't, then that's when you get into these slippery slopes. Because we have seen it to where one party in the situation really thought that, like, it was a genuine friendship, and the other party was like, oh no, I was just, using this for what I could get out of it. So I think that everything that Bullock just said is 100% true. The problem is, because it is this side, you'll never really know until it's too late.
You will know because it's entertainment. Listen to me, y'all. Stop looking at this as if y'all about to be. Let me tell y'all to stop being delusional. At one point, I was delusional. At one point, if you don't know, I was coming in boxes and I was trying to mediate some of these situations. I was trying to help people have effective conversations. I was trying to do all of that. I don't do that anymore because I understand what it is. I accept it for what it is. It is entertainment on this side. If you want to have conversation and build relationship, you got to go to a totally different side of TikTok. People will boldly say this is the messy side of TikTok. We don't do that over here, right? Let's be honest about something. This side wasn't even coined the messy side of TikTok until a couple of months ago.
right.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Said that yesterday, Bullock.
You true.
I
You
said
get it when you right. You
in my
right.
live yesterday. We were not messy talk because they was like, Essence, when you become messy talk, I'm not on messy talk. I haven't. We were not messy talk a couple months ago.
I've been on this side since I started on TikTok 3 years
just
ago.
became messy talk. And to answer the question, somebody asked me, did me and Erica meet on this app? No, we did not. Me and Erica met on Facebook. But me and Erica is a testament that yes, you can meet somebody on the app and become true friends. We have been friends for 17 years. She's the godmother of my daughter. So I will say you can meet true, genuine people off an app.
Oh, absolutely.
But I will say this, the way I'm on this app, I'm the same way on Facebook. I'm the same way on Instagram. I'm the same way on Snapchat. And I am the same person in person.
I'm not.
But can you be honest, Lady Essence, and say that there are some people that you have encountered, the majority of the people you have encountered on this side of TikTok, you don't truly believe they are the same way in person versus the internet. But a lot of them say that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I'm not the same way, and I will tell y'all that.
What is you? What is you in person? I can see you be more reserved.
Like he's real time. I was gonna say you look like you
reserved. I can see
like
you
very reserved.
I am goofy still. Like some of me is on the app, but I think what I do turn up is all of the aggression and all that arguing and you motherfucking like I don't talk like that in my regular. I don't talk to people like that every day. So that's kind of like.
That's the character in which you're describing.
Yeah, like that's kind of like all that rah-rah. Like I don't do that, and you're not gonna see me walking around Atlanta cussing nobody out.
And see, you would see me walking around Savannah cussing somebody out.
Yeah,
you would see me walking around Savannah cussing somebody out. But on the internet, I don't be on here doing all that.
And see, I'm the opposite.
You come to me wrong way. I'm still learning how to communicate effectively. Let's be honest about it.
But I will say this. I want to say this though, but because I feel like they're gonna repost this and they're gonna try to twist it. Like I said earlier, even in playing a character, I look at Angela and Taraji, some of my favorite people, and they have played very hard characters where they have said I had to do therapy after playing that role because it fucked with me. So when you're playing a character for so long on this platform, it do begins to have a blurred line and some of your emotions do get involved. Absolutely. And so I don't want nobody taking me saying certain things I do are a character because they go like, oh, well, when he was mad, this person, that was a character. Like, no, some people really hurt my feelings. I thought I had love for them. I thought we had a relationship. And like you said, it wasn't a genuine relationship because of how it was built.
Correct. It was their foundation.
I think there's some people that come into our lives, we try to make, well, at least me, let me speak for myself. I try to make everybody a goddamn lifelong friend. Mm-hmm. Sometimes God just sent you to me to give me a boost of encouragement and I need to go and let you go on down the road.
Season.
But I be like, oh, no, I want you to stay. And I be hurting myself with it.
I say that all the time, that we encounter people for a reason.
a season and a purpose. And sometimes you have to leave seasonal people exactly where they're at. Seasonal people.
So, Essence, can I ask you, how do you have that conversation with a person?
How do I have that conversation? I'm very upfront and honest. I don't have to holler and scream and cuss somebody out.
Well, no, I'm saying once you
When I
realize the
let people
person is
go,
seasonal, do you go to them and say, thank you for getting me through this, but this is not going to be a friendship like that, but I wish you the best. Like, how do you say that
You
to
can send one
somebody?
of them. It's not you, it's me. Text.
it's not even a text. You know what? I don't even do a text. Because you know why I wouldn't do that? Because that leaves that person with an idle mind.
Yeah, no,
And that
seriously,
leaves
don't do
that
that.
person with the door is still open for them to swing the block. Now I have let some female friends go and we had a conversation. Listen, you've been here through these seasons, but now we're complacent. And I'm not comfortable being complacent because if we're not evolving and